happening, y'all? Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Creatia Conversation, the number one source for those topics and all that nerd-ish. I am your host, Lord Cussalot Travis Pointer, a.k.a. the Dragon King, a.k.a. Big T, a.k.a. T-Money, a.k.a. Sweet T, a.k.a. Black Merlin, a.k.a. the HNIC. And today we got a special guest on the Creatia Conversation. First time in some time on the Creatia Conversation, the honorary Oos of Creatia World at the Will Gray. How you doing, Will?
Gentlemen, I'm really glad to be here on a Thursday with y'all. It's a good day. I'm excited. I haven't been here since the new format. Lots of good stuff to talk about. I'm glad to be invited to the party.
And I'm glad to have you. We also have
the patron saint of podcasting, the warden, Matt Ritter.
How you doing, Matt?
Good, Travis.
How you been? You know, haven't seen you in like 3 days, 4 days. How do days work? 4 days.
4 days. Yeah, 4 days.
Yeah, we'll go.
Today, I only have to see you one more Sunday, and then I'll have to see you another Sunday for probably 3 years. So, like,
however long it takes for House of the Dragon to come back. And honestly, I don't even know if we're going to do it that way anymore because it doesn't seem beneficial anymore. It made more sense back with Game of Thrones to do it right after the show because there was more engagement that way. It's not happening that way anymore. It doesn't really feel worth it, but we'll see. It's all about, working smarter, not harder around here. But we are not here to talk about House of the Dragon, or are we? This is our weekly show where we talk about various topics in the world of Creatia, that is creative media. We each present a topic for you all's amusement, and we'll get into that. But before we do that, what you two been up to? What you been watching? What you been playing?
I am a little more than halfway through season 4 of Vikings now.
Season 4, what's happening in season 4?
Rollo is married to the princess of France, and literally the episode that I just finished was Ragnar coming back to France and Rollo wrecking the fleet in the river. So
great show, right?
Dude, it's weird. So for me, it's like Sons of Anarchy and Game of Thrones had a slightly less interesting baby than the parents. Like, there's some good shit. Like, I will give them this. I am 4 seasons in. They have not petered off on the nudity. The amount of nudity has stayed consistent through the show. Happy about that. You know how I feel about shit like that. Like,
important details.
Give it to me a bunch in one season and then just take it away for story. Like, establish something and keep it up. So, like, the nudity has stayed fairly level throughout all 4 seasons. But there's nobody in the show I like. Really? Everyone sucks.
You don't like Ragnar?
No, he is a terrible person, and his acting is kind of annoying. He's weird. He bothers me. He's like,
what makes him a terrible person, Matt?
Constantly cheating on every wife that he has. The way he treats pretty much everyone around him.
I can give you the cheating part. Yeah. He definitely likes to fuck.
He cheated on Lagertha with Aslog. He cheated on Aslog with Queen Kenilworth, and now Aslog's slave, the Chinese chick.
That was some weird shit, though. I think that's some other shit, but
he's on drugs right now. Like there's stuff going on. I don't know. He's not the badass Viking I expected him to be. Like, he can be in the fight scenes, and the fight scenes are cool and great, but, like, outside of that, he's, like, this weird, semi-paranoid, I don't know, there's something about what he does with his face and his eyes that bugs the shit out of me. I like Bjorn, for the most part. Bjorn hasn't really done anything. Like, when he went out and fought the bear and shit, that was cool as fuck.
Yeah, I guess. He kind of bored me.
I wanted to like Rollo. Rollo was shitty, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna have a cool redemption arc, and then he went back to being shitty again. And I was like, all right, fuck that. I think Lagertha's
cool.
I fuck with, but like one person isn't really enough to hold me through an entire 6 seasons of a show.
I get you. Well,
I'm gonna finish it, but like, there's just nobody that I'm like, all right, I can identify this person's fucking cool. Like, that's my person outside of probably Lagertha.
Wait, you don't like Floki?
No.
There's a character named Floki.
Floki is so much fun, dude. He's
80 seasons now where we're at. Not so much fun no more.
like he just it's one of those things you watch and like he just fucking nuts. It is just like all the time.
Once we got to him building the towers to scale Paris and like Ragnar putting him in charge of the sieges like revenge because he knew he was gonna fail and wanted to like fuck with him. Once that happened, Floki got really fucking weird, and the whole like he killed Athelstan and Ragnar, like that whole thing really kind of turned. Because I thought Loki was going to turn for King Horik, and then when you found out, oh no, he's actually still loyal, and it was all a ploy. All right, cool, back on Team Loki or Floki. But now, like again, the jealousy and the he punished me for killing a Christian. I refuse to admit I'm jealous. Shit, like.
I get all that. I can understand that. I just enjoy how fucking nuts he is. But Will, yes, there is a character named Floki because he also believes he's like a descendant of Loki, and that's a whole thing.
I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I've never watched Vikings. I've had a few friends that have watched it that have all said you need to. Listening to the two of you have that conversation, just the names alone, I was like, okay, I think I can get with that. Like it's close enough to being like the lore of Thor and stuff like that in a weird, different like
it's
universe.
all historically based as well. So
It's all historically based. They do talk a lot about the lore, which helped me because I played God of War 4, which isn't really 4. So I had some stuff in my head. I'm like,
let's just call it 2018.
It made sense to me. So I'm like, all right, cool. That works. But also, Odin may or may not appear in the show. It hasn't necessarily. I looked into it, and it's just a theory. It's not confirmed and or denied as to if this person is Odin. However, he is very mystical, and they repeatedly mention that this is a name that Odin has used before. So, but no, like it's cool shit, and the historical stuff is cool. There's a lot of just. I don't know. It doesn't feel as good as Game of Thrones or Sons of Anarchy, but
I mean, how many things are going to feel as good as Game of Thrones
or Sons of Anarchy?
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I was
It's
starting with Game of Thrones because that's the one that everybody really. I know people watched Sons of Anarchy, but not as many as who are on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So
it feels like that weird middle, like it's right in between the two. It's not as good on either side of like regular TV or cable TV, but it's right in the middle, and it's just I don't know. It's good. I'm gonna finish it. I want to know what happens, and it's good enough that I'm gonna probably watch Vikings Valhalla too. So like, there's that. But
yeah, I'm in the middle of that right now. In season 3 of it. That's the last season, I believe. So
other than that, I finished Jedi Survivor. The story finally. Darth Vader was a bitch to fight, and got back on some Mortal Kombat with the anticipation of the new DLCs featuring Ghostface, not Killer, from Scream.
I'm very disappointed in that, by the way. Still,
yeah, that would be pretty dope.
The T-1000, Conan the Barbarian, and what I believe is new Cybot and female versions of Cyrax and Sector. So, like, stoked about that as well.
Female robots.
Yep,
female robots.
That's it for me, though.
Nothing I have to talk about has anything to do with female robots. I'm going to preface this, Matt. I'm sorry. No female robots. I think the best thing to say about right now for me is it's that part of the summer, and Travis will relate, where 80% of my viewing, I will start the other side. 20% of my viewing is wrestling. The other 80% of my viewing right now is Big Brother and the Big Brother live cams.
Yeah. I haven't looked at the cams. I do it on purpose when I haven't seen, I haven't seen last night's episode yet.
So I haven't seen any live cams today. I'm the exact same way.
Yeah, I'm not watching any live cams until I see last night's episode. However,
I actually, last season was kind of weak. Mara brings it up every time we mention Big Brother. Has any white people said the N-word yet? And that's like her countdown for the summer is like how many days it took an idiot white person to be racist. And I was like, Angela didn't say it, but she said it. She showed her ass like 5 days into the summer. And I was like, this can't. And now everything's building, and it's already, we're 2 weeks in to a 90-day show, and I'm like, this is one of the better seasons
Yeah,
in a long
the drama.
time.
And normally
All the
I'm not for like, I don't watch reality TV for the crazy drama. Like I've mentioned, this is the only reality TV show I watch. And it's the good combination of the drama with the competition, and that's what makes it work for me. But yeah,
I think
there were.
I will say this: Matt was the wrong choice to go home. Hold on a second. Let me
100%.
close my office door while they lose their mind.
I mean, I've well, when he gets back, I'll explain this, because telling this to Matt Ritter right now will not make any sense to anybody. What's up, Al? Good to see you. Good to see you.
The downfall of being downstairs with them and not upstairs anymore is when they make noise, it's 3 times as loud now.
But what I was gonna say, when this whole thing started, when they introduced everybody, I had, 2 people that I wanted to get up out of there like almost right away. One of them was Kenny, because I'm just like, he the ops. I don't like it. I don't like it. Like his thing is, he's a cop and he looks like one of those cops.
He's a cop and he lied about being a cop to everybody except for Matt. And to me, a cop that wants to lie about being a cop is a creep and a weirdo automatically. And I get it. He wants to play the game, but that's not.
Well, there was, remember that year Derek won. He was an undercover cop and didn't tell anybody, and he won. So he was like, I get it, but it's just, it wasn't him lying about being the cop. It was just, he just seems like one of those cops though in general. And I'm just like, he the ops, he got to go. And at first, I had no issues with Angela. And then, like, probably it took maybe 10 minutes into the episode where I was just like, oh, she's annoying. Oh,
big time.
I'm very annoyed by her now. I need her to go. And then she won HOH, and I'm like, oh, fuck. And
we got her at least another week.
Yeah. And then she got super paranoid and all the other shit for no reason. Like, they tried to bring her into a big old alliance and shit. And
then she burned the house down. There was an alliance with half the house.
Yeah.
And she literally outed it on day 5. Yeah. I was like, how do you ruin your game this early into the summer?
Okay, so it's not just me that the Twitch app changed for. I'm like, what the fuck? I hate it.
Finally made me update due, and I hate it.
I hate it so much. Just watch this on YouTube, Al. That's what you should do.
I was gonna say, I haven't been on there because I have so many problems streaming on mobile with Twitch where it just like freezes the videos and shit. I just gave up and just started watching shit on YouTube. Like, I gave up.
Just watch us on YouTube, y'all. Just do that. I'll say that. I mean, I appreciate you watching us on Twitch too, but honestly, you should watch us on YouTube anyway. I appreciate Twitch. It's good for what it is and all of that, but watch us on YouTube. Do that.
The last little bit about Big Brother, I'm very glad that the house uniformly hates Lisa. Like, I'm super pumped that nobody likes her, and I'm glad the other chef in the house hasn't really come out and told her that they're a chef yet, because they're letting her like show her ass with her edible glitter and bullshit. Like, it's so funny. Glad.
It didn't occur to me until just now how much that would probably piss you off is her,
yeah,
her in this thing that she does.
I'm so torn between Angela and Lisa right now as to who is my next target for getting out of that house.
Well, I'll tell you too, Amani hates Lisa. Like,
Al does too. Al despises Lisa. Oh yeah, hates her. Playing wise, I recently re-downloaded Steam. Even though I'm on a dreaded Mac, apparently there'd been some patches done, and there's not a ton of games by any means, but I've been playing. I re-downloaded a game called Don't Starve Together, and it's like a single player or a co-op. I would liken it to Minecraft, but if it was done in a Tim Burton universe. Okay, so it's very like cell shady. It's very kind of it's dark, naturally dark. Like, there's vampires and werewolves and stuff.
Lisa is the worst. Her hair is the same color as her fake tan. Wow.
Absolutely right. 1,000%.
It's true though.
So I've been playing a lot of that. I recently played AEW Fight Forever.
Okay.
We got it for free on the PlayStation Network, and I was finally like, okay, it's free. I'm going to download and play it. And you know what? If you play it without the anticipation of it being like 2K or a really great,
Oh no, it's supposed to be kind of like
game.
No Mercy and all that shit back in the day on the 64. That's what how they pitched it.
So No Mercy was the really good version of that generation of games. To me, this landed more like WWF Attitude. Like,
okay,
it wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst either. You know what I mean? Like, is it playable? Yes. Would I want to sit down and go through the career mode and do all of it? No. Like, get on and smash a match or two if you've got 15, 20 minutes to kill. That's all it's good for. It's not a sit down and grind game.
Yeah,
but I finally
should have gone
Forever.
more in the No Mercy direction then, because
I downloaded Fight Forever for the PS5. Like, I put it in my apps. I haven't downloaded it yet to try it out. So I do have it. I heard there's some crazy shit in there to just like go and do
wild shit. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you play a match or two a week for a few weeks, you won't get through all the bullshit you can pull from out from under the ring and the different match types and everything you can do with it. Like, there's tons of shit like that. Like, you go play a hardcore match just to beat the shit out of Darby Allin. Like, you'd have fun. Like,
why specifically Darby Allin, Will?
Because fuck Darby Allin. Also,
have you ever...
if something bad happens to him, I get a point in my Deadpool. So
that is true. He does have him in the Deadpool. There's a game that used to be on mobile called Crash Pad where you like throw a guy down the stairs and you see how much damage you can do to him. And it like shows you where the bones are broken and stuff. And it's like, oh, you broke every bone in his body. Congratulations. Darby Allin is the human version of the dude from Crash Pad.
Oh, okay.
That's how I view that in my head.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. Okay.
That's it. Video games. Captain Lee from Below Deck has a new show called Deadly Waters where they solve murders in, the open sea like pirates, like good guy pirates. It's cool. But that's it.
For me, I mentioned it earlier. Been watching Vikings Valhalla. Also started this the show on Max. Well, a couple of shows I started on Max actually. Did either one of you watch Harley Quinn?
Yes.
So they did another show like spinoff from that universe, Kite Man. Hell yeah.
I watched it. It was short.
We started watching that there, Well, there's only 3 episodes now. There might be
That's what I'm saying. It was short.
Yeah.
Is it a season that's coming out, or was it just like a short 3-episode burst?
No, they're dropping episodes like weekly, I think. Like kind of like how they did with Harley Quinn. So there'll be more. But also I started watching Suicide Squad Isekai, which pleasantly surprised by how fun that is. If those of you don't know what Isekai means, it's basically like, a genre of anime where you take somebody from one world and put them in a completely different world. So they take the Suicide Squad and put them in this anime fantasy realm, with orcs and, all that kind of shit and knights and all that shit. And it's pretty cool because all their like abilities and everything that they have as a Suicide Squad like amped up because anime. And they don't realize that's what's happening until they get there. And they're like, oh, wait, my powers, I can do a whole lot more with my stuff. Now, like Clayface can like manipulate the clay and mud and everything and other things other than just himself. Like Harley Quinn did like a swing with her bat and like set somebody like flying like through the roof and shit. And it's just they're discovering these things, which is pretty cool.
What is the word you just used?
Isekai.
Okay,
Isakei, I believe.
I'm just learning about the world of anime, and I'm really glad that you brought this up because it's topical. One of the ones that I was just turned on to is an isekai, apparently, because they take a sushi master. His name is Yiro. There's a show about him on Netflix, but they put him in this like dystopian future where the chefs rule the world. And when you come into his sushi restaurant, if you disrespect him, he'll literally like kill you on the spot. And like the police don't do anything to stop him. They're like, can you imagine how disrespectful you must have been for Master Euro to like roll your head out on a busy Saturday night? And the cops are like laughing it off and shit. And I'm like, this is cool, but it's like 5,000 years in the future. And I'm like, Euro's already 100 years old. How did they make this work? Because it's an isekai.
Well, did they start him off in like, you know, his normal world and transport him to that? Or
yes.
Okay, gotcha.
What they did was they would go back in time and pick the best chefs from the previous lives and bring them to the future.
Yeah, that's
and those chefs pretty much run the world. And there's different ones. Like Anthony Bourdain has one. Marco Pierre White has one. And they're all based in these anime worlds where they go to the future and these chefs run the world. And I'm like, God, I can't wait for my turn to do
that. Those are the two main ones. Oh, the Sausage Party series on Prime. Started watching
series. It's a series. I didn't realize it was a series. I saw it on there. I thought it was just a part 2 movie.
No, it's a series.
Okay. Because Kate said I could watch that without her, and I'm like, deal.
That tracks.
Tons of content for you there, Matt.
I think that's it for what we've been watching around here. That's all I can think of right now. As far as playing, I mentioned it last week, still doing that, playing Grand Theft Auto 3 again on this guy, because I can do that, which is cool. Just, you know, have you figured out how to connect your controller yet, Matt, or no?
Nope. I haven't even really tried. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah. I got the little clip thing for the controller and everything, so I can literally just hold it like my controller and everything, and GTA 3 is right there.
Are you using the Delta emulator?
No. You talking about for to play GTA 3?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's on mobile. If you have Netflix, you can get it for free.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, guess what I'm doing today, gentlemen?
GTA 3, GTA Vice City, and GTA San Andreas.
I just recently got turned on to an app that Apple finally approved. That's an emulator called Delta, and it's a full emulator all the way back to like the Atari 2600. And so I've been reliving some of my N64, PS1, PS2 days.
Yeah, we've I'm Droid, so we've been emulating for a while now.
You got that heat wave that we had yesterday.
How's bragging camp going?
I was just...
still working on it. I can get better, you know.
It is hot as shit, like irresponsibly hot.
It is.
No, we had that yesterday. It cooled off today, so you guys might be all right tomorrow.
Well, the thing is, here it has been basically raining nonstop since like mid-July. Like,
you know, the world's coming to an end.
Fucking day, and I'm just like, Christ. Like Tuesday night during D&D, our power went out, and I'm like, fuck you, like. It's been quite a time because it's also just I needed to cut the grass, and it was every time I tried to, it would start to rain, and I have not been happy with it. It's the best way to put that. So before we get into our topics, let's watch a trailer. This is a trailer for something called Slingshot.
Like the car?
Starring good old Larry Fishburne.
Hello, John. You are aboard the spacecraft Odyssey 1.
I like space. Off to a good start.
1.5 billion miles. No big deal.
None of you are Lawrence Fishburne. I'm about to say, there we go. Okay, cool.
Gentlemen, we have been in space for nearly 2 years.
It's incredible.
We are on our way to Titan.
Dude, nothing good ever happens on Titan.
It's the most Earth-like world we
Ever.
can reach.
Ever.
We'll need Jupiter's gravity for a speed boost.
Of course you will.
You have 2 more
That's why it's called Slingshot. Got it.
Oh yeah, no, I figured that out as soon as they got into a spaceship that they were gonna whip them bitches.
Yeah.
Houston, we have a situation.
That's the dude from that. Oh, I was gonna kick my ass. What's his name? Asteroid
one is-
City.
One is Casey Affleck, Ben Affleck's
Yeah.
little brother, and one is Frenchie from The Boys.
Yeah, Frenchie from The Boys is also in a bunch of. He did the Grand Budapest Hotel and the
Okay.
Desjardins Limited and Asteroid City, and I can't remember his name. And she's gonna be like, "Oh, blah blah blah."
And this for immigration.
You think
But-
Casey Affleck has the same, struggles as Liam Hemsworth, where it's just like everybody's like, why can't you be cool like your brother?
I almost called him the less cool Affleck brother at the very beginning of it, and I was like,
The thing is, I don't
He
even really
is.
consider Ben Affleck to be really cool.
I
But
was
it's
gonna
just,
say, like,
so it's just
that's
like,
kind of shitty.
if you be
He's-
less cool than Ben Affleck as an Affleck, it's just like, man, how low are you? You know,
even
not
at his,
even like Liam Hemsworth is necessarily uncool. He's just not him, not Chris. You know, and that's his only crime. Shame
Yeah.
on him.
and even at Ben's peak, he did Jiggly. Like,
Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood.
Sheesh.
Lawrence Fishburne will always be Morpheus to me. No
Yeah.
apologies.
I get it.
Bespoke, bold.
I'll watch it.
I don't know. Interesting enough. I won't go to theaters to see it, but you know, it drops on the streaming service. I'll probably check it out. You know what? No, I'm not going to flip a coin. I'll let the guests go first. Will, give us your topic.
Okay, so I know this isn't hashtag them dragons,
It is not.
but that's one of the few shows I'm lacking on my Creatia World Grand Slam. So I hope it doesn't take them 3 years to come back because I need to check it off the list.
You
But
can have my spot on the season finale.
yeah,
Yeah.
when that's this coming Sunday though, I'm going to be in Cleveland. I won't be able to do it.
I tried, Will. I tried.
I know. I appreciate it. So my topic is in the most recent episode, we got a bunch of new dragon riders. They had to fill out a bunch of dragons to help build Rhaenyra's army. So in my head, I was like, let's build a dragon rider army. So I thought there's 6 dragons on Rhaenyra's army. And I said, okay, there's going to be 3 of us, maybe 4. So in my head, I was like, 6 people. I have a list of 8. I did 4 good guys, 4 bad guys. And then I was like, so we could do 2 or 3 each. If you guys all made a list of 6, we could just rattle off our lists and see if we have any overlap. Like that was my list, though. If you could come up with any Dragon Rider army from any franchise, video games, movies, TVs, comic books, anything, who would you put on the back of a dragon?
Mm-hmm. Okay. You want us to give ours first, or you want to give yours first? How do you want to do this?
You guys can go first, and then I'll rattle off mine because again, I did good guys and bad guys.
I just did the ones who I want on my team.
Fair.
And I did a list of the 8 active dragons that aren't baby dragons
Okay.
or
That's cool.
unclaimed dragons.
Okay.
So-
See, I just did 6 because you said 6, so that was what I did.
Because
Yeah,
I
but
thought
I really-
Rhaenyra has 6 in her army, but I was like, okay, fair. But I was like, I was just like 6 seems like a good even number split between 3 people also. But we're about to have like 15 names and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So I did a theme, right? I took
Okay.
each dragon and I gave it a rider, and that theme is fucking Vikings because of God of War and Vikings. So what I did was I gave them all a Norse god as their rider.
Interesting.
Fuck yeah.
So Frigg is riding Cyrex, Cyrex being Rhaenyra's, Frigg being the wife of Odin, essentially the queen. So I figured that worked, that fit. Caraxes, Damon's dragon. I put Loki on that because if anyone's wearing a murder hoodie and doing shady shit, it's Loki.
Mm-hmm.
Sea Smoke, I gave to Tyr, who is the Norse god of war.
Won't happen.
Why?
Sea Smoke only lets black man ride him.
Well, unfortunately, there are no black.
I know.
Norse
It's
gods.
unfortunate
Wow.
for your Norse gods.
Vermithor, or
No
as I
Sea
call him, Vermouth, I gave to Thor because he is currently ridden by Hugh Hammer, and if anyone has a hammer, it's Thor. I probably should have switched Sea Smoke and Silverwing because I gave Nord to Silverwing, and that is the god of wind and sea. So I might have been able to make that work.
You might
Vermax,
it's him then.
which is Jace's, I gave to Balder, son of the other son, the son that nobody talks about because Thor and Loki get all the attention. And then Vagar, I gave to Odin because Vagar's rider has one eye, and so does fucking Odin. So, of course. And Moon Dancer, I gave to Hel, goddess of death, because I needed a female god to ride Moon Dancer. That's Bela's dragon. So, yeah, Norse gods.
Okay. Mine didn't have any particular theme. These are all just people that Travis wants on his squad.
Okay.
So why are you laughing, Matthew?
No reason.
Well, first off, my number one draft pick as to who you need to put on a dragon. First man is Batman. I need Batman on a dragon.
That makes sense. That tracks.
Second, where I thought you were going when you first said, Viking themed and all that, Kratos.
He's not a Viking. He's a Spartan.
But I didn't say you didn't say they were all Vikings. You said Viking themed.
Yeah, I guess.
Even though I probably wouldn't have him wielding the Leviathan axe, he probably would be with the Blades of Chaos more than that because I like that weapon better. But yeah, Kratos. And then it started getting interesting because I'm like, who else? Back in the day, there was an arcade game. I only actually played it on the arcade, cabinet one time, but it stuck with me forever. Are you too familiar with a musical artist by the name of Michael Jackson?
I think I've heard of him.
Never heard of that in my life.
Well, he was a big deal back in the day, Matt. And
are you sure you're not talking about Percy Jackson, the movie about the kid with special powers?
No,
okay.
not him.
Just making sure we're on the same page.
This is Michael. This is Michael.
Okay.
This is Michael.
Michael Jordan.
No.
Is that who you're thinking of?
No, not
no. That's a basketball player.
Oh, that's the basketball player. Not him. Not him.
Oh wait, no. Oh yeah, Michael Jackson. Creed.
No, that's also Michael Jordan.
That's also Michael Jordan. Yeah.
I tried.
You did. But he had his own video game called Moonwalker. And in this arcade game, it was also a Sega version of the game that was not nearly as good. But the arcade cabinet game, you had different versions of Michael Jackson and different outfits that were like his outfit in the Smooth Criminal music video. And
was this game bad?
Like bad as in like the title or as like a bad
or was
game?
It more like a thriller?
Did you ever beat it? Just out of curiosity.
I beat it every day, Will. But anyway,
was it in black and white?
It was not in black and white either. No.
Did you see your reflection in the arcade cabinet like you were looking at the man in the mirror?
No. That didn't happen either.
Sorry, I'll let you go. I'm done.
I know. I'm with it. It's fine. I'm okay with it. But in this game, like I said, you could be different colored outfits that were like his outfit in the Smooth Criminal movie and music video. I mean, hey JJ, and he had different things like a lot of the Michael Jackson kicks to hit your enemies and all that kind of stuff, and also he had like little shimmery powers he did when he did some shit. But his main superpower is his special. He and make everybody dance, and then like the enemies would explode, and it was cool as fuck because why wouldn't you do that? Like everybody on the screen would dance, and it was even better when multiple people were playing. So you had multiple Michael Jacksons in different colored, Smooth Criminal outfits doing the same dance at the same time while all the monsters were dancing too. And then they would explode, and it was great. So I want that on a dragon because what would be doper than him hopping off his dragon in the middle of a battle and making everybody on the battlefield dance, including his dragon, and then all the enemies explode.
I feel like even though you're not giving dragons, you'd have to give him Moon Dancer.
That tracks. I'm okay with that. And then
Batman, Kratos, and Michael Jackson.
so far, yes. No,
Fuck yeah, dude.
specifically Moonwalker Michael Jackson from the video game.
Yes, specifically moonwalking Michael Jackson from the video game.
Number 4, John Wick.
That's a fucking pick right there.
Yeah. I want John Wick on a dragon.
Dragons and guns.
And then you're probably saying, Travis, this is strange. You got Michael Jackson, but most people don't know this. That he's black. So where your black people at? Well, number 5 is Storm from the X-Men. That's number 5. Oh, what's up, JJ? I want to go there. Where is that campus? I want to go right now. But then
Indianapolis, I believe.
Number 6. This is the linchpin, the key to this entire team. All right, is Stanley Hudson from The Office.
Fuck yes. Is he flying sea smoke? Please tell me Stanley's
He
flying
has
sea
to be.
smoke. He has to
He
fly
has
sea
to be.
smoke.
Reason being, if those of you who are aware of The Office and watch it, know Stanley's attitude was, let me just go in here, do my job, and go the fuck home. And that's his attitude for this entire war will be. He gets on his dragon. He goes and like, let me go ahead and do this today. He go out there because he's over it. He's over all this bullshit. He's over everybody's bullshit. He was not with anybody's shenanigans during the show at any point. Call people on their shit. And that's what this team needs. Somebody needs to tell Batman when he's fucking up. And nobody else on the team can really do it. So
Stanley just looks at Batman. Did I stutter?
Exactly. And that's my team. Those are my Dragon Riders. Boom.
All right. I did a very mishmash group, and until Matt started rattling his off, I started tagging dragons with mine. Because I was like, this would be cool. This one makes sense. So I'm gonna do my bad guys first. Flying Vagar, one of the biggest dragons in history, is Sauron from the Lord of the Rings series. I feel like if you're on a bad guy team and you could, go to the TVA and have them bring over anybody from any timeline, then put Sauron on the back of your biggest dragon. And I feel like there's no way that wouldn't be a good fun watch. This is my sleeper pick and my one of the female writers, Proxima Midnight from Thanos' army from Endgame and Infinity War, writing Rhaegar, Daenerys Targaryen's dragon.
Okay.
So I think that would be dope as shit. My third one, filling out my Hill Triad, is the Green Goblin from Spider-Man.
Yeah. Okay.
And put him on Moon Dancer. A dragon that's fast as shit, can go just fucking go with it. It fits. It's very on character with him. My sleeper.
Go ahead.
No. I have a joke on my heel team, and it's Nikola Jokic from the Denver Nuggets, because I have to figure out a way to work a basketball plug into anything Matt does. He raises horses, so I figure if he can ride a horse, he can ride a dragon.
I was going to say, another good pick for your bad guy team would have been Vader. Seeing as Anakin was an expert flyer, he would have been great on a dragon.
Starting with my good guys, Anakin Skywalker, because he's an epic pod racer and one of the most talented people in the universe. Put him on Cyrax. I swear to God, Matt, we're the same person sometimes, because you went with Vader and I went with Anakin, and that shows everything about our duality as people. So Anakin Skywalker, fantastic pod racer, using the Force before he realized he had the Force. Number 2 on my team. Let's go to Top Gun. Get Maverick.
Okay.
Put him on Silverwing, because he already flies a Silverwing, right? An F-15 fighter jet. You get it. It's the crossover that we didn't know we needed. But he's kind of a hothead good guy, that chaotic good, and I thrive there. On my
I would have gone really random and gotten Buddha just because.
Yeah.
Just because, just like, why Buddha? I don't know.
Just because.
Just because.
I was stuck between 2 cowboys. 2 from my favorite video game series. One being John Marston from Red Dead Redemption series. And I
Okay.
was like, Marston would be a badass. He's the ex-criminal, but, you know, decided to be the good guy. Again, more
You like him
chaotic.
over Arthur Morgan?
I think John Marston was more of an anchor point for the whole series because he was such a vital point at the end of the second one, and he was being the main character of the first one. I think he was the anchor for the series. So that's why I picked John Marston over Arthur Morgan.
I get you.
And then Nick Valentine was the other cowboy. He is a robot from the Fallout universe who like wears a trench coat and like kind of cut in half. You can see the robot innards and stuff, but he still tries to act like a fully functioning human. And I think he would be cool. And I put him on Sea Smoke.
See, if I was going to go with a cowboy, I would have chosen one of the Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa, but that's just me.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, those are my Dragon Riders.
All right.
That's dope. That's dope. God, dragons are cool. And speaking of dragons,
Oh boy, here we go.
wait, what's up? On the apron, just get into the ring, bring them. Okay. I mean, would you? Just. I mean, if we're being honest, would you?
I would eat brie every day if I could.
There you go.
Specifically, the reason why I can't be a vegan.
All right. So we kind of talked about this game before
Okay.
because it reminded me of back in the day, Matt, when we used to play the Dragon Ball Z video games.
Mm-hmm.
There's a new trailer out for Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero that is featuring the Saiyan and Namek sagas. So let's watch that trailer.
What's Baxter barking at?
I don't know. The cat is attacking Penny because Penny wants to play and Jade hates her, and Baxter's probably trying to stop the cat from killing the other dog.
Got it.
Just play by play for you guys. I'm trying to mute up so it's not quite as obnoxious.
Well, we didn't hear it. We just Allison said something. So
Yeah, Allison pointed it out. I don't know your dog. I love you, Will. I don't know your dog's bark.
Well, I said,
He'd be like,
I
oh,
was like,
no, that's
I don't
Baxter.
know, Matt. I was impressed. I was like, damn, I'm a bad friend because I don't know his dog's name.
You should join us, Kakarot.
My name isn't Kakarot. It's Goku. Got
You
it?
have no idea how out of
Yeah,
your
you fucking
league
suck.
You're going to die, fool. Piccolo, you're attacked. Do it now.
Special beam cannon!
Well then, let playtime begin.
We appreciate it, Temple Plays.
I think
Thanks, bud.
we definitely do.
die. How's it feel? Seeing your little friend's corpses
I want like a what if video game or show or whatever where Chaozu's the strongest being in the universe.
Bit of a bind. This is always what gets me pumped. Buddy, don't fail me now.
I can also never not look at Chaozu and think of Dragon Ball Abridged where Nappa thought he was a Pokemon and tried to catch him.
Leave it to me. Don't make me
We need one of those alternate universes where like everybody who was super strong in the real universe is now weak, and everybody who was super weak is super strong. Yet somehow
Yamcha
Yamcha's
is king
still
of the
weak.
universe.
No, Yamcha's still weak because fuck Yamcha. You flip everybody but Yamcha.
But now I introduce you to the beast. Fair warning, when I'm like this, I can't help but kill. Yeah, the Saiyans are a true warrior race.
So Hercule is actually the king of the universe?
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Hercule is actually as strong as he makes everybody believe he is.
We get to play as Nail?
Even I can beat a monkey. It's our turn now, Vegeta.
I mean, yeah, you can, but do you really want to?
I know.
You
I always
have
thought
Piccolo?
Nail was cool.
Yeah, but you have Piccolo. Why do you need that?
I was going to say, everybody knows Piccolo's really the choice. Matt's just trying to be edgy.
I will. Orange Piccolo is pretty fucking dope. I will give him that.
Prepare yourself and behold the second transformation. proclamation of the mighty Freeze.
I like that they're focusing on this era of Dragon Ball because this is the one I'm most familiar with as well.
Mhm.
From Toonami days on Cartoon Network.
Yep.
Finally ready.
Spirit Ball.
Dude, that was the most intense 2 days of my life.
I mean, 2.5 of those days was spent with him powering up. So
That's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
yeah,
Like
it
his
was-
friends trying to keep him alive and then not dying so that he can use the ball. And then when it happened, spoiler alert, it didn't kill Frieza
Didn't kill
after all. You were
But he
convinced.
destroyed an entire fucking planet.
Yeah. And then he decided to go Super Saiyan. Like, you son of a bitch. Where was this 2 days ago?
Exactly. Like, what the fuck? Why you over here sleeping while the rest of us are dying?
That's the most impressive part about the game, though, is the amount of the fucking roster, and they still haven't given it all yet.
Yeah.
Well, and that was just to focus on that portion of it. Sparking Zero is going to span. It goes into, I believe, Super.
I'm seeing like
everything.
Broly and everybody. So it's
Yeah.
it's plenty of shit happening. What was I gonna say? Something about Dragon Ball. I don't remember. Oh well.
Dragon balls across your chin.
Bazinga.
Promise. Well, since you're already talking, Matt, what's your character?
My
What's your character? Your topic. Jesus.
Okay. So with the news that broke that Robert Downey Jr. will be returning to the MCU to play Dr.
Speaking
Doom
of characters,
much dismay from the fan base. I wanted to see what you guys thought would be a good way to make Robert Downey Jr. work as Dr. Doom. So everyone kind of fantasy book how to do this a little bit. I'll go first. So for me, I want him to be a red herring. Think the prequels to Harry Potter, where you had Colin Farrell as the bad guy, and or Johnny Depp as the bad guy, and it turned out that it wasn't actually Colin Farrell. We've seen in Captain America: Civil War that they can wear a mask that conceals their face, and then they can pull it off. So my thought is Robert Downey Jr., Dr. Doom is using his face to kind of gain the trust of, or to fuck with the Avengers, to play on those sympathies. And then we find out who the real Dr. Doom is later on. Maybe by the second film, he reveals himself to actually be someone else, and we go from there, because he is only signed to a 2-deal movie. And I think the reveal of who actually is Dr. Doom might assuage some of the issues of people being, because there's a bunch of different ways. I'm sure you guys have ideas. There's a multiverse and shit. So like, but I feel like this would be a good way to be like, ha ha ha, we got you all pissed off. Fuck you. That's not really what's going on. And I like that.
So you mentioned it, and I'm sure this is actually what it's going to be, because it's also requires a lot of comic book knowledge. I know you all don't like delve as deep into them as I have, but the fact that Secret Wars is a thing that they're doing, that's a Dr. Doom story, and they've already established the multiverse. Our Tony Stark is dead. He's gone.
Yep.
He's gone. However, like I said, they've established this multiverse. All of our characters have dealt with Tony's death. We've had some fallout from all that. They all were sad at the funeral and all that kind of shit. My thing is, you bring him back in this multiverse thing, because what Secret Wars is, they did a version of it back in the 80s, which was what they showed us. Did you watch the Spider-Man cartoon in the 90s?
Yes.
So that whole thing they did when they were fighting Dr. Doom when Spider-Man had to grab all these other heroes like Storm and Wolverine and all these other folks and the Fantastic Four and all them to fight Dr. Doom in his world before he had to do that thing with the other Spider-Man and all that. That's what that cartoon episode, that's part of the series was based on. They redid it 2016, 2015. I was in San Antonio when I read it, but it was like when I just got to San Antonio. So it was like 2015, 2016, somewhere in there. But what it is, it's a great Dr. Doom story. That's because Dr. Doom had become started as a Fantastic Four villain, but he's an overall arching villain for all of Marvel now. But what it was the end of the multiverse, was to put them all together as one. And that's also how they got rid of the Ultimate Universe in Marvel. and brought it all together. The Ultimate Universe where all the crazy shit really happened. That's where Peter Parker died. That's where we got Miles Morales and all that kind of stuff. But brought them all together by ending the multiverse. But my whole thing is I'm seeing them bringing in Robert Downey Jr. to play Dr. Doom because in another universe, he's not, the Tony Stark, but no, he's Victor Von Doom. And our heroes that we know coming to face with him and having to deal with the fact, like, this is our friend. This is the dude who sacrificed himself to save us, but that's not him. He's doing all these other things, and he's like, this is a problem. We have to deal with him, and them having to deal with the fact that this friend who they love, who they've cherished, who saved their lives, is now trying to kill them and everything in existence. Them having to deal with that is pretty exciting. It'll give MCU movies a depth that they haven't had in a while. Okay. It kind of reminds me of, it's not going to be exactly the same because it's kind of the opposite, but I don't know if you were aware of this, but back in the 80s, a little movie came out called The Terminator. I don't know if you've heard of it. Big guy that used to be a bodybuilder, was in the movie, had a weird accent, all that kind of stuff. So he was the bad guy.
Dolph Lundgren.
Yep. I think so. I think it was that guy. That guy. He, kill a robot from the future, comes back, human skin, all that kind of shit. First movie, it's over with. The second movie comes out, and this robot is back. It's a different robot, though. Same model, different robot, but this time he's the good guy. Now, they spoiled it with the trailers and everything. Luckily, Travis didn't see the trailer, so I didn't know. But this whole thing started off, and, here he comes walking through the mall with the roses and pulls the gun out with the roses and all that kind of shit. It's like, oh, shit. But then it turns out he's a good guy, and that's exciting. Same hat, different person wearing it, So I'm seeing it being something similar to that, but flipped with Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom, is what I'm saying.
Think it's a good guy and he turns out to be a bad guy?
They think he's a good guy. We know better.
Yeah, exactly.
They think he's a good guy. The only reason why we know is because they told us. But it's kind of the same concept as they did with Terminator. Like, people knew because they saw the trailers and all that he was a good guy. But it's supposed to be start off like, oh, there's our friend. Nope. And there we go.
I'm going to follow right in because mine's going to take you pretty much laid the foundation for what I'm going to say. In the comic books, there's a variant of Tony Stark where him and Victor Von Doom, Victor does a science experiment and they change personas. Mm-hmm. So Victor Von Doom gets to be in the Iron Man body and Iron Man is in Dr. Doom's body. Essentially, in that timeline, they fight, and Tony Stark, being in the Dr. Doom stuff, has to essentially kill off the good guy in the bad guy's body. He becomes power hungry, blah, 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 right? He gets transferred back into his body and still power hungry, but he becomes Dr. Doom with Iron Man's powers, ultimately becoming one of the most powerful people on the planet, right? Or in the universe. Now, fast forward to our timeline. The TVA, the Time Variance Authority in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, has said in multiple occasions that throughout certain timelines, if an anchor character is gone, that universe gets eaten alive, right? They've talked about this happening in different forms and variants. What they're going to do is they're going to bring Tony Stark back because he was the anchor point in the sacred timeline. But when they bring Tony Stark back, oh no, they grabbed the wrong one. And it's the Dr. Doom Tony Stark. And now they've got the most powerful person in the world who was supposed to stop the end of the timeline. They brought him here essentially, and they have to stop him from ending the timeline. But essentially that puts them in the paradox, because as long as they have a Tony Stark, they can't be beaten. But if they put the Tony Stark they have in this timeline, then their universe is going to end anyways. You see what I mean? Like, I think this is how it's going to go, because I think they're going to grab, again, the wrong Tony Stark, but it's going to get us to a point where they're in that dilemma. We have to kill him and kill everybody, or let him rule and essentially kill everybody. You know what I mean? Like, they've got to figure out how to get out of that double-edged sword, the catch-22, as they say.
I went M. Night Shyamalan twist. And I forgot to mention, I'd have the actual Dr. Doom be the Dr. Doom from the original Fantastic Four movies. Neither here nor there. Will went Face Off, and Travis went straight comic books.
Mm-hmm.
A lot
What's
of
interesting that I noticed
from the comic books, though.
Right, but it's also
it's still
Face
Face
Off.
Off. It's
The
still
best
Face
way to
Off.
distinguish the two, you know.
That's how I've described it to everybody: is Face Off. Yes, you're right.
What's interesting though, because somebody pointed this out yesterday, something else I was watching, that the Avengers Doom or Doomsday has the logo in Doctor Doom colors, but the Secret Wars logo is Iron Man colors. So it's just like, are we going to get a variant of Iron Man to face Doctor Doom?
Maybe.
Like I'm real interested to see how all that plays out. Okay. Let's not a trailer, but just something that I'm excited for. There's a Batman cartoon coming to Prime. And this is the opening title sequence for it. So let's watch that.
J.J. Abrams just out here doing cartoons these days.
Yep. And that starts today.
All right.
I will be checking that out. So we got one more topic for today, people. And that's my topic. Great day has come.
Not what I wanted to do.
It's one of those moments too where me and Matt are also sharing a brain though. But the Creatia World movie is happening. And now we're going to cast the Creatia World movie. Who do you think should play each of us? You know, me, Matt, Mara's not here, but we'll cast her as well. And we got to cast the honorary use because he's here as well. So I'll since Matt kind of spoiled one of his already, I'll let him go first.
All right. So I was going to start with Will. And I guess we will start with Will. I tried to go based on who I felt looked the most like, but also kind of embodied a little bit of the characters. So for those of you who don't know, Will is a pot smoking Jew. So, I mean, look. I actually had two choices for everyone. The other option for Will was Jeremy Allen White.
This is the right choice.
But yeah, I think this is the right choice. And then, since I'm sharing... Oh, actually, no, I didn't do that. So, for Mara, again, mostly based on aesthetics.
Okay.
So this is Logan Browning, who has been in a bunch of stuff. And just looking at that, I see Mara. The two I had the biggest trouble with, because I wanted to find like a black and white version of an actor, like if this actor was black, blah, blah. And I struggled real hard, so I gave up on that because it was impossible. So I went through a lot of options for Travis, but I ended up settling mostly because I could cast someone with the same last name as your father, Travis.
Are those fake sunglasses on him?
Those are fake sunglasses. I photoshopped them on him because Travis can't be on screen without Donald Glover or as Donald Glover without sunglasses. But then I can also cast Danny Glover as your dad. So, and last but not least, I had to cheat a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. I did, because this is technically not an actor, but a lot of the people from this world have been actors, and while he is not bald, we have seen him in bald cap. And I feel like this is the person that most looks like me. Hi, Zoe. I love you, baby. Scared daddy. Kevin Owens in bald cap as Matt Ritter. Who does that look like? It looks like Daddy? I agree. Thank you. So, yes, Kevin Owens in bald cap as me. Donald Glover as Travis. Danny Glover as Travis's dad. Logan Browning as Mara. And Seth Rogen as Will.
Okay.
That all tracks.
What you got, Will?
Starting with Matt. When I put my cast together, I was like, okay, you've got to be personality. You have to have semi basic look about you, so you would fit the bill. And I was like, I want it to be as close to being a cast that would make sense if they were playing roles for the people. You know what I mean? So so starting with Matt, Ryan Hurst from Sons of Anarchy. I swear to God, Matt, for you and I to not have talked about this a whole lot beforehand, you and I have brought up similar things on all of the topics. I picked Ryan Hurst, Sons of Anarchy, played Opie. So I was like, that makes sense. He's got that real serious side, but he can also be kind of light and good-hearted and funny. Like, makes sense. It's Matt.
On that note, my wife was I asked Kate because I was really struggling, and she actually said Jon Favreau for me.
That would make sense too.
You said Ryan Hurst.
I can see that too.
Yeah.
I also have to go shake her mouse real quick, so I will be right back. Zoe, I will hear you. Zoe will be Zoe, sit here. Be entertaining.
Be entertaining.
For Mara, I went this one because of both aesthetics. I think like similar like looks and characteristics, but also again personality wise, is just kind of who it is. I picked Zendaya.
Okay.
I don't actually know how old Mara is, but when I looked up Zendaya's age, she's 27. So I was like, okay, that tracks. You know what I mean?
Is 32.
Okay, so see, I get the brownie points for booking somebody who's younger than she is. This is where Matt and I again, just oddly enough, for you.
Tell me that it's bad.
Okay.
Good to know. Appreciate that.
For you, Donald Glover.
Okay.
And I don't have the clever picture with the sunglasses, but honestly, I was like, okay, then I looked up how old he was, and I was like, okay, he's 40. And when I saw a most recent picture of him in sunglasses, I was like, yeah, that could be Travis. So I was like, that tracks. And then for me, Seth Rogen. I don't know why, but that's exactly who I picked for myself because, you know, he's a pot-smoking Jew who likes wrestling. And I was like, that makes sense. I think me and him would be good friends in real life.
All three of us gave you Seth Rogen.
That's hilarious.
All three of us gave you Seth Rogen. That's fun. So here's what I got. I'll start with Mara.
Daddy in the face.
I went off of just her, you know, in general. I know her a bit better than the two of you do. I, you know, went off her vibes and all that kind of stuff, and also some aesthetics as well. But I went with Tessa Thompson. That tracked for me. Just even like in interviews and all that kind of stuff. She seems a lot like Mara. Went a different direction for Matt though, because one of the things that, you know, with Matt, if you will have been around me and Matt, or me, Matt and John, or John and Matt, at any point, one of our favorite things is getting Matt riled up and getting Matt angry. And who do we love to see angry on screen? Bill Burr. So I want Bill Burr to play Matt. That's the thing. So I feel like plenty of times during the movie it would be finding a way to get him angry and letting Bill Burr do what Bill Burr does. And like we mentioned before, Will Gray, Seth Rogen, we all agree that's who plays Will. For me, you both went Donald Glover. Now, it was an interesting choice, and I see why. But I went with Craig Robinson. Because when I see Craig Robinson in anything, or, you know, his attitude in anything, or just him in general, like just when he's talking and all that, he's also a musician and all that kind of stuff. It all tracks with who Travis is. He's just like basically a taller version of me that still has all his hair, you know.
And I will argue
today from you, Travis.
What's that?
That's two Office references from you today.
That is 2 Office references for me today. What were you saying, Matt?
Now that you say Craig Robinson, which makes a lot of sense, I feel like a good casting for you and I would be Craig Robinson and Danny McBride. As me as Danny McBride and you as Craig Robinson. Danny McBride also worked on the latest Halloween movie.
Yeah.
So like there's that.
Angry Danny McBride is also fun. In the Righteous Gemstones, it was very very entertaining.
Dude, that's a show, man. I loved that show.
Yeah. Okay. I think this was, we with our casting choices, we we'll do screen testing with all of them. Let them all audition, and, let the best one win. Who's best for the role. And I think it will shape up to be quite the movie. That was fun. That was a fun exercise. I think that'll be it for today, folks. We've already gone 5 minutes over, so we need to go ahead and end this here. Do not forget you can watch us on Twitch. Those of you who are still watching, even though the app is trash now, twitch.tv/Creatia World. You can go subscribe there for free if you have Amazon Prime, because that means you got Prime Gaming. So you take your Prime account, take your Twitch account, put them together, fusion, and you get Prime Gaming. You get a subscription free every month. We would appreciate you giving that to us. If not, give it to your favorite Twitch streamer of your choice, like Will or anybody else. But use it, because if you don't use it, you lose it. But what you really should do, because it's easier to use anyway, go to youtube.com/Creatia World and watch us live there. Watch us later on there. Subscribe for free. Doesn't cost you anything. And then right next to that subscribe button is a little bell. And hanging from that bell is a little bean. So what I want you to do, I want you to flick that bean. You do that, you get notified every time we go live, every time we drop a new video, all that good stuff. Our content is changing up the way we're putting it out there, so you want to be notified when everything drops. Great way to support us financially, though, is on Patreon at patreon.com/Creatia World, where you get a lot of extra stuff. Return to Wrestling with myself and the Warden Matt Ritter. We're going through old WCW stuff. We just finished Starrcade 1998. Which brings us into the beginning of 1999. And we are about to next month talk about the infamous finger poke of doom. It's going to be a great episode. I'm looking forward to that one. Did Travis start this entire show just so I could talk about the finger poke of doom with Matt? I will never confirm nor deny that. But that's what's next. You can also watch us and get all the things we do, video or audio at creatiaworld.com. So all the links to everything we do are there. Then you can follow us on all the socials, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Creatia World. That is at ITSCREATIA World. Also on Facebook at facebook.com/Creatia World. While you're there, check out our Facebook groups, facebook.com/group/DemDragons. That's the official Facebook group for the podcast, #DemDragons. And that podcast is live every Sunday after House of the Dragon is over, about an hour afterwards. We talk about that episode right away. Hang out, have a good time. We also want to check out Facebook.com/group/Smacking and Raw, the official Facebook group for the Smacking and Raw podcast. You want to tell me a little bit about that, Matt? Or are we good?
It's a wrestling group on Facebook that isn't toxic. If you don't know, now you know.
You can find me on all the socials at Lord_Cussalott. That is at LORD_CUSSALOTT. Will, where can they find you?
First and foremost, as always, I want to say thank you for allowing me to be the honorary oos of all things Creatia World. If you check my link tree at the Will Gray, you'll find everything I do for Botched Bots and Share Shots, Rivet City Radio, Off the Top Media, and my writing profile for Last Word on Sports.
Nice.
Hi, JJ.
Where can they find you, Matt?
At Matt Ritter, ZMATTRIDDR on Twitter, or at Getting Off for your horror content, Matt Ritter for your wrestling content, and everywhere else on socials at Smack and Raw, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky.
Well, folks, that's it for this week. We had a great time with this episode. Great topics. Thank you for being here, Will. We always appreciate you coming through. That'll be it for now. We'll see you next week. Till then, we out.